Yeah, we should do that like when we can do an episode together though. Like
Yeah, that's a good idea.
we should go to Blake's house. We gotta go check out Blake's house.
Yeah, I was about to say that would be pretty fun, a road trip up to Charleston for a weekend and record a podcast together.
Yeah.
Just get absolutely tatered.
Wasted. All right, well we're live now.
Cool.
On
Sure.
YouTube.
Cool.
Yes. All right, so
you want to do that
Live
thing we
on-
talked about earlier?
Yep, same thing as before. So I'm gonna count down to 1, start it, and then I'll let us know when we're live.
And then Garrett takes it from there.
All right. Yep.
I
Right. 3, 2, 1.
About me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
All right, we are live.
yeah,
up, guys?
boy.
Yo.
Yeah.
Welcome back to BFT, guys. Good to be back, man. We had a little bit of a hiatus. First off, hope you guys enjoyed the intro. Shout out to Cameron for putting together a sweet little EDM remix for our intro that we can just vibe to, and hopefully you guys vibe to as well. Yeah, man. We had a hiatus. Blake, do you want to tell everybody why we had a 2-week hiatus?
Yeah. Well, so I moved into my new house last weekend and didn't have internet during our normally scheduled podcast day. So yeah, figured we'd take a little bit of a reset. And yeah, now we're back. I got some internet set up today and ready to record.
Yeah, Blake, love the new house, man, but you got to get some decorations behind your computer, man. I mean,
What, you don't-
it looks like you're in a dungeon right now.
You don't like my assortment of boxes back there? There's some
Dude,
printer
you
paper.
got white walls, a beige shirt, and boxes on the ground, dude.
Yeah, that'll be my next thing. I've just been unpacking boxes, mainly all the big stuff over the past week. So my next thing is the getting my room all organized and decorated. What do you guys think?
Right
Should I hang up the Navy flag back there, or should I go with something different?
Different.
Something cool.
Some different. Oh,
Yeah.
the Navy's not cool.
No, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah,
maybe,
do something cool.
maybe we need to put a poll up to let our listeners vote for what you should put behind. And whatever they choose, you have to put up.
Do
Okay.
a trippy Grateful Dead mural.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you,
Good.
dog.
Get
Okay.
a
All
dope
right.
That'd be
tapestry.
such a
There you go.
vibe, bro.
Brian with the call outs. Okay, right on. I'll take that. All right, boys. What are y'all drinking? What we got tonight? Anything cool?
Ooh, we got the Terrapin High and Hazy IPA. Boom. I've never had this
Sheesh.
before, but I've already had one. I'm on my second. Pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, I've
It's
never heard of
pretty
that
good.
before.
It's got a ridiculous description on there. Those are just different descriptive words. You want me to go through them?
Sure.
It's a long list.
Please.
All right. High and hazy. Soft, juicy, hazy, drinkable, bitterless, fruity, mango, delicious, pillowy, luscious, hoppy, chewy, grapefruit, cloudy, dank, fluffy, sticky, foggy, pungent, kiwi, citrus, fresh, pithy? What is that?
Blake,
Bright,
conceal
jam,
your beer boner.
orange, ruby, rad, yummy, nectar, cushy, guava, tropical, smooth, tasty, enjoyable, done.
Jesus Christ.
You want to know what I'm drinking? Classic
Yeah,
City
drink it.
Lager.
Wow.
Oh,
Not
wow.
hazy, not IPA.
Wow.
Just right.
I'd like to try that hazy IPA, Cameron. I like those. I'll have to see if that's in the
It's
local
pretty
store.
good.
Good
So I'm
God, that's got Blake's name written all over it.
Still erect.
so I'm going with the old Truly lemonade seltzer. Cameron recommended
Nice.
this to me a few weeks ago, and I was at Walmart looking for something to drink last weekend and stumbled across that. Like, why not?
So,
Nice. Yeah,
Blake,
pretty good, right?
Blake, when
Yeah.
Which one's your
when
favorite?
you go to check out, go ahead.
Which
I don't
one's
know. So I'm drinking the black cherry one. So it's either between that or the mango. I'm not sure. They're all pretty good though.
Yeah, mango's pretty good. That's my brother's favorite, actually.
Well, then I like the black cherry better.
So, Manzer, when you go to the store and buy 12-pack of Trulies, do you have to like make up an excuse to the kiosk worker and be like, hey, yeah, no, it's for my girlfriend, or yeah, it's for my mom, or
That's
do you
exactly what I say. Either, yeah, it's always I'm buying it for my girlfriend, or some local high schoolers wanted me to get this for their party.
Some local high schoolers paid me $30 to pick up this 12-pack for 18.
Better to admit to a crime than to admit that you're buying it for yourself.
Yeah.
Dude, drinking booze was so much more fun in the Hey Mister days when it was just such a challenge to get a hold of it, you know? God, anyway, so let me read you my description on my beer of choice tonight. It's going to be a Miller Lite. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. Inside is a fine Pilsner beer brewed with the highest quality ingredient. All you need.
Nice. Classic.
That's it.
That's all you need.
No hazy, no pithy, no words I don't understand or know what they mean. Just fine
you know
quality
what Pilsner
ingredients. Nope, I don't need to know. Just tastes good.
Awesome.
I don't know.
But no, please do tell me what it means.
Oh, I have no idea. I figured you also didn't know.
Yeah, I don't, but I'm gonna look it up right now.
I just know it's a type of
our
beer.
audience. The type of pale lager. Okay, here we go. Takes name from the Czech city of Pilsen, where it was first produced in 1842. Okay,
Wow.
right on.
That's pretty dope.
So, my American beer has Czech, Eastern European roots. So anyway, gotta love that. Speaking of ass beers, Brian, you want to tell us about your ass beers of the weekend?
So again, seltzers. I don't know. Started out, I was like, I'm gonna go over to the liquor store, maybe pick me up something for the weekend. And then Cameron gave me a call. He's like, hey, meet me at Walmart. So went over to Walmart. You know, you can normally get stuff for a little cheaper. So I was like, all right, I'll make the trek over there. And then I saw the infamous Bud Light seltzers, and I will tell you, it did not live up to the name. It started out with the strawberry. I was like, oh, this tastes like medicine. And you know, they're not beers, they're seltzers. So I poured it out. I was like, I don't feel obligated to drink this bullshit. And then, so went to like the lemon lime. It's like, all right, this kind of tastes like ass too. And then what's the other one? The black
mango.
cherry. Yeah, I'm getting there. Mango was the fourth try, and I was like, all right, this is kind of tolerable, but at the same time, I don't think I'm ever going to buy this bullshit again. And that's my take on Bud Light Seltzer. Straight ass.
The fact that your favorite one was barely tolerable just tells the entire story there.
Don't buy it.
I don't know. I like the Bud Light seltzers.
Manzer, defend yourself. Defend yourself.
Well, first up, Brian, I think you need a certain amount of hair on your chest before you can have an opinion on the Bud Light seltzer.
Well, considering Bud Light is my beer, I was just taken aback with the whole experience. I was like, you know what? Maybe the seltzer thing isn't for me.
Well, that's kind of so. The first time I tried the Bud Light seltzers, I tried the lemon lime and almost puked on the immediate first sip. I was like, wow, this is not good. Immediately let our friend Chris Reddick know that his company just needs to fold. Anheuser-Busch, terrible product. But it's definitely an acquired taste. I went on. I think I had like the strawberry next. I was like, okay, this is good. I didn't get the medicine vibe from it. That's typically my go-to if I'm not trying to have beer over the weekend. But yeah.
I'll just be 100% honest and say that the strawberry Bud Light seltzer is one of the worst things I've ever put into my mouth.
Ouch. All right.
And he's put a lot of things.
100%. Wow. Nice. I set myself up for that one. But yeah, no, it's trash, dude. And I'll just be honest. I know seltzers are taking over the world right now, and I respect it. But I'm not on that train. I'm not. My claws were awesome at first because they were it was kind of like the meta thing to do, and I don't know, it's just kind of funny. But now that like everyone has one, I don't know. It's just over flooded. And you know what? Damn it. I'm hedging my bets on beer, and I'm sticking to it. Sticking to my easy drinking domestic beer.
Or easy pilsner.
There.
Yeah.
I'll get some
Anyway.
White Claws if I'm feeling something super light, but because I prefer a White Claw to like a Michelob, but I'll get a Miller
Okay.
and these IPAs every once in a while.
Cameron, have
Yeah.
you tried the Bud Light seltzers?
No, not the Bud Light. I won't get those. No, I'll get those Truly lemonades or White Claw variety pack. There you go.
So while we're on the topic of beer versus seltzers, I had a interesting conversation with Connor, Blake's brother, for those of you who don't know, and he was saying that he feels like he gets more hungover from seltzers than beer.
Mm.
And personally, I haven't solely just drank like only seltzers one night to really test it out, but I don't know, I think it's something kind of interesting. I don't really know what seltzers are made of, but it's kind of contrary to what you would think. Like normally, seltzers kind of are like a spiked, flavory water with alcohol in it. So I don't know. It's kind of weird that somebody would get more hungover from that than beer.
Interesting.
Yeah, I feel the
Banzer,
opposite.
the night that you were hammered on Xbox a few weekends ago, off of like 14 seltzers. What was the next morning like for you?
Not bad, honestly. I mean, every time that I've gotten drunk off of seltzers, I felt fine the next day. I actually the last time that I drank too many, like I got drunk off beer, I felt like sick to my stomach for the next 2 days. So
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe it's
What beer was that?
It's probably some heavy IPA.
yeah, it was
That would explain
it was some new IPA. I got it at the store.
Some hazy,
funny.
pithy, dank, yeah, up and down the mango, like up and down the line, whatever.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is. There it is. All right, guys. Well, since we're on the booze topic, first off, real quick, listeners, welcome to our listener-inspired podcast, the first one we've ever done. We're really excited about it. We got a lot of good stuff coming up that you guys have sent in. A lot of feedback
We
that
got
we've
a
gotten
couple
from.
live viewers.
Hell yeah, we do.
We
Couple
got,
as in like a couple
Brigham.
100,000.
No,
Oh,
we
we
do
do
actually
have
have a couple
exactly
right now.
a couple.
What's up, guys? Someone up in the chat.
But anyway, so we have been taking your feedback. We've been listening to your questions that you guys wanted to hear. And this podcast is going to be fully dedicated to you guys and just out of appreciation. But speaking of booze, and Brian was talking about this weekend, we had a really interesting conversation with one of our fan favorites, Michael Newsom. We celebrated his birthday this weekend, and we had this discussion where we were talking about, like, okay, so we're all from the Atlanta area, and there's a plethora of places to go out on a weekend. Where are the best places to go out in Atlanta? Right. So right now we're going to power rank the Atlanta nightlife hotspots. Right. So here's a few examples. You've got West Midtown. You've got Buckhead, Roswell, Alpharetta, like up and down the line. There's a lot of different spots, a lot of different little hot spots that you can go to. And I think everyone's kind of people are pretty loyal to the soil on this one, right? So like, I know Ben Wynette out there. Ben Wynette loves West Midtown. Obviously Newsom loves downtown Roswell. Like, it kind of goes around. So right here on Bona Fide Talk, we're going to settle this once and for all. We're going to power rank 5-1 the best Atlanta hotspots. Boys, what do y'all think?
I like it. So should we just roll through everybody, kind of do their pick, or how do we want to do this?
Let's do this consensus. Right? So I'll start us off at 5, right? We're going to go 5-1, 1 being the best, okay? 5, honorable mention. No debate.
Buckhead.
Has to be in the top 5. Ice House. Yep.
You say
We're all
that's
some
number
Canton
5?
boys here. Yep, number 5, honorable mention, Canton Ice House, okay? For those of you who don't know, we are all from Canton. Canton has graced us since we graduated high school with arguably one of the greatest bars in human existence. It's called the Canton Ice House. It's got lots of games. You got ping pong. You got live music. You've got pool. You've got oversized
40-40-year-olds.
Jenga. Yep, you've got a very interesting group of people. You can always walk in and bank on being able to spend a lot of time just people watching. Yeah, you truly had the finest of North Georgia at the Canton Ice House. But if you're looking for a really fun night with a nice group of people, there's your number 5. All right, boys, I had to do it to him.
Okay.
I think that belongs in the top 5. I've never had a bad time at Canton Ice House. It's a hell
what are
of
your
a lot.
experiences there?
Drunk.
Oh yeah, always.
When I first went there, I totally expected a Canton bar to just be some absolute shithole.
Right.
But like they renovated an old. I think it used to be a Ryan's there, one of those like Ryan steakhouses. And so it's pretty big inside, and it's got a good ambiance to it, to use the word. Lots of cool games. Just a good place to hang out, have a good time. Definitely meet some interesting people.
Wyatt to the location being in a Walmart parking lot? Does that add or subtract from the rank?
It can only add.
It is.
It can only
okay,
add.
So Brian, are you pushing to push this out of the top 5 into the honorable mention?
Yeah.
Or are you okay with it at 5?
We'll keep it where it is.
Well, yeah.
Okay. See, all right. I was about to come through the computer and fight you on that because I'm a homer, right? So here, real quick, we'll wrap it up. Cheap drinks, big ass bar, so you never have to wait for a drink. You're definitely gonna run into like some of your friends' parents, just like cool
and old teachers. That's always
sweet.
Fun.
Yep, absolutely. You may or may not get into a fight, depending on who you are. That's a promising thing, right? So, love Canton Ice House. All right, Brian, I want to let you take over number 4. It's all yours.
4.
Yep.
Alrighty. I'm gonna go with Buckhead.
Okay.
I just think it's a shithole littered with a bunch of underage people, and I don't know.
Okay.
But I will say there's a purpose. When you want to go and just get absolutely shithoused and have no remorse for your actions, yeah, sure, you'll fit in very well there.
Okay. Right on. Cameron?
What? 3? Am I going 3 or?
No. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
I agree with that. Yeah. I mean, I agree with what Brian said. That's a fair assessment of Buckhead.
Buckhead has a ton to offer, a lot of bars and stuff. I'll just be 100% honest. If we were going to power rank the most overrated areas to go out in Atlanta, Buckhead would be number 1 for me. I respect that there's a lot of options. Like Brian said, always flooded with underage people, always Guidos. I mean, there's always going to be some Guidos out there at Buckhead.
Mm-hmm.
Just some like old guys that should not be at a 22 to 25-year-old bar. So that's always interesting. But anyway, I do think it's overrated, but you got to respect that there's a lot of options there. Manzer, do you want to do number 3?
Number 3?
I have a feeling I know where you're going to go with this one.
Well, I know what my number 1 is. So I've never been to Buckhead, so I can't really weigh in on that. And I've only been to the other ones a few times. So number 3 for me.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go with Midtown. I've only been to Midtown a few times. I had a really good time in Roswell last time I went there, and then I think you guys all know my number 1. But yeah, Midtown. It's good, but it's not great.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll just leave it at that.
Midtown's interesting. A lot of options, places to go there. They're just so modern, so hipster. It's not my favorite. I've been there a few times.
Brian, what was the name of that one bar we went to in Midtown? Like Duck something?
Painted Duck.
Yeah.
Painted Duck.
That was cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a cool place.
All right, Cameron, give us number 2.
Oh, number 2 is mine. Oh, man. I mean that leaves me with the choice of what to put at number 1 as well. But I don't know. I mean, I've been to Roswell once or twice, and I really liked it.
Yep.
Is Roswell fair to put it 2? I really liked
Yeah.
it. And I went to a brewery one time. It's just a really nice area too.
Okay.
I say for number one, do a 3, 2,
not.
1 countdown, and we all say what we think.
Do not. No, I'm not. I'm not going to let you guys outnumber me on this one. 'Cause I have some staunch opposition to this. Okay, Cameron, I'm overriding you. No. All right, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Roswell's
Okay.
number one. Okay.
Interesting.
boy,
Hot
shit.
take.
I'm gonna say Roswell's number one. All right. So here's my thinking here. Okay. So obviously none of us live near Athens. Athens is kind of a haul. Decent college town. I think it's maybe the most overrated college town in America. After my experiences here a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I did. Okay.
Ouch.
Because
It's
you went to
yeah.
a hippie restaurant and you got
I
served
did.
by a hippie waiter and your butt hurt.
Bunch of
'cause They
hippies.
didn't have Miller Lite. Yeah.
Bunch of hippies.
Dude, how are you a restaurant
funny.
in the United States of America that does not sell domestic beer? Seriously?
They
Dude,
did
these
it?
people,
What?
dude, so let me tell
Because
you
you
a story.
have 3 local breweries.
Dude, so
Something Oxford knows nothing about.
yeah, okay, because we don't like freaking hippies, bro. Keep the hippies out. Don't bring in any breweries. So, I go to a restaurant in Athens a couple weeks ago. My sister moved in there. She just transferred to UVA, and we go to a restaurant. My dad drinks exclusively Miller Lite. Okay, that's why I'm always drinking it. And so we go up to the table, and he orders a drink. He orders a Miller Lite, and the waitress looks at him like she had never heard of a Miller Lite before. She pulls out the menu. She's like, I don't think we have that. What was that again? And he's like, So then she proceeds to tell us about all the local options that they have, right? She's like, oh, well, we have this Creature Comfort. And she goes through like 6 different like local beers that you guys have in Athens. And we're just like, are you kidding me? Like, anyway, Athens is not what it used to be, guys. I think it's so hipster now. The beer culture is so snobby. It's overtaken Athens. It's overtaken you three. I don't know. I just can't get behind it. But I will fight
I
for.
think that's a hyperbole.
Maybe.
Garrett, how do you
is.
know what
Yeah.
Athens used to be like? You
Did
were
they teach
blackout
you
every
what that
time you
word
went.
means at
Over-exaggerate.
Oxford?
Oh, what was that, Mazer?
I said, how do you know what Athens used to be like? You were blackout every time you went.
Okay, so that's what I want to know Athens as. I don't want to know it as
you
this
know
hipster
Athens
town.
as the $12 handle of Taka drinking
Yep. Exactly.
down it
That's
before
what
you get on town.
That's what I want to always remember
Jesus.
Athens. Oh, and I've been disappointed the last
So-
couple times there. It's not
One
that.
of our
Fair enough.
live listeners, Brigham, brings up a good point that we forgot something in this list that I think is a very valid contender.
Okay.
What do y'all think that is?
Woodstock?
What hat are you wearing?
It's where Cameron used to
Oh,
live.
Battery?
shit. No, he is right. He is right. Yep. Yep. All right.
The battery.
Let's
That's my number
Let's-
2.
the call. So thank you, Brigham. If I were to, all right, I would say this. I would say Roswell, Battery, Athens, Buckhead.
Roswell over
then-
Battery?
Dude, all right.
Yeah.
The reason I say that is because there's more options. In Roswell, you've got the brewery, you've got a couple of pretty good bars. Alive After 5 during the summer is just key. Being able to walk down the street with drinks and stuff. Not as expensive, dude. The Battery is just so expensive. Like you pay
That's true.
$12 for a mix. The bars, I don't know, they're too big. I don't know. I love the Battery, don't get me wrong, but like I'm gonna choose to go out. Maybe I'm just recency biased because we were there the other night. But anyway, good point, Brigham. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I've never had a bad time at the Battery. I agree. The drinks are pretty expensive there, but
Yeah.
it's a good once in a while type thing. I know back when Cameron used to live there, we'd go down there every time I visited him, and it was always a good time. Good looking girls,
Yeah.
Yep.
cool bars. It's always nice to if you go there during a Braves game, you got that at least in the background. You can go in and out of the stadium if you got tickets.
Yep. Yeah, when you can't beat it whenever there's a Braves game. The environment is just awesome. So if there's a Braves game, Battery's number 1. If there's not, it's number 2. We'll wrap that one up. We had a pretty good experience in downtown Roswell this last weekend. I won't get into the details because they got pretty nasty. let's just say this. There was a kid that like came up and was talking smack to our group, and he pushed us. He pushed like I think John Moyer, I would say,
Oh,
and
Shit.
someone in the background yells "fight," and a cop runs out of nowhere, runs around the corner. He's like, "What happened?" And for some reason, he thinks that we're his trusty allies, and we go, "He pushed us," and so the cop takes off after the kid that pushed us, grabs him, puts him in handcuffs,
Cuffs him
walks
in.
into the cop car, and then comes back and says, "Do you guys want to press charges?" And we're like, we had to think about it for a sec, and we were like, "Nah." Going back, maybe we should have. That would have made for a story. Anyway, that was our downtown Roswell experience this last weekend. Guys, there was something in the news that Reed Bowman pointed out to us this week that I think is really interesting. It kind of goes back to a lot of the conversations that we've had on this podcast. Back from the dead, out of the grave, Fortnite is in the news. You guys heard a little bit about this. I know we talked about it before the podcast, but Fortnite is back from the dead. They're having a battle royale. Yeah, they're having a battle royale against big tech right now, guys. Basically, Epic Games has become huge with the rise of Fortnite, and they have a presence on the Google and Apple App Store marketplace. And Apple, for those of you who don't know, Apple and Google both take 30% cuts for all sales that happen on apps that are in their marketplace. Right, so huge cut, 30%, 70% is obviously like your top dollar return off the bat. So Epic Games came in and they installed their own system to try to get around that, offering a 20% discount to all users who go through their payment system, opposed to Apple and Google's, and they have now been expelled from the marketplace.
wow.
Apple and Google have tried to monopolize this, and they're not dealing with Epic Games. And Epic has come out and they filed a lawsuit against both the big tech guys. And along the way, this is kind of built like a little bit of a following amongst some of the major players on the app stores. You've got Facebook, Tinder, Spotify, all coming out in support of Epic Games. So this has been kind of interesting. It's going to be interesting to watch going forward because we've talked extensively about the monopolization of big tech and where we stand on that. So this is going to be something to watch over the coming weeks. Any takes, guys?
Yeah, so this goes a little like you were saying. This goes a little bit back to what we were talking about a couple weeks ago on the podcast, with those big tech hearings in Congress, and the Apple App Store was like a big debate amongst, or a big point of interrogation by the members of Congress on Tim Cook from Apple. And really just the closed in nature of the App Store. And so just for a little bit of perspective, Apple, I think, so they bring in like $1 billion a month from their fees on the App Store. Like you said, they get like a 30% cut or whatever. $1 billion a month from just the App Store, not like that's just from the App Store. And so their defense in the hearing was that they need that to run the App Store. But I find it really hard to believe that it takes $1 billion a month to keep the App Store up and running. That is just an insane amount of money. So I don't know if that's true there. So it's kind of interesting that now this is so shortly after those big tech hearings in Congress, there's actually something flaring up with another big name company that everyone's heard of at this point, Epic Games, that owns Fortnite.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's definitely interesting to see where this is going to lead. To see also all these other real big companies kind of taking Epic Games' back. Maybe Apple's kind of known for their closed wall thing. They want to keep you in their ecosystem, and they're a pretty big giant to mess with. But there's a lot of other smaller giants messing with them.
Yeah.
That 1 billion number is just really interesting to upkeep. I mean, So the App Store, what would go into that maintenance? I mean, obviously servers, stuff like that, maybe cloud storage, but would
Yeah, it's probably
love
mainly
being the numbers guy, dissecting that.
Yeah, well, it's got to be mainly servers. Obviously, like the people who work on maintaining the app store, coming out with bug fixes,
Mhm.
keeping that system running. But a $1 billion, that is so much money. I don't buy that it requires that much to keep it functional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think for me, it's like, obviously the app stores offer a huge opportunity for people like us to, maybe come up with a successful app that is used by many people. The marketplace is there, the opportunity is there. I think where there's room for negotiation is the 30% cut off the top, right? So I think that's kind of the point of contention here. Obviously, Apple and Google have they make the phones and they have the marketplace, but as far as the 30% cut off the top, that should be up for negotiation. I think that's kind of what Epic Games argument is here.
Right.
Anything else, guys? Cool.
Yeah.
Another point of news out west. So I don't know if you guys have followed this at all, but Uber has been in the court systems. They got taken to court, I think, by their drivers out in California. But a federal judge actually ruled that Uber and Lyft have to treat their drivers as full-time employees, and that's very interesting. As far as you don't usually think of like rideshare drivers as full-time employees. Obviously, some people have treated that as a career or at least a full-time job. But that's another topic of debate there.
Yikes.
Right. But anyway, so Uber and Lyft are now going to be forced in the state of California to offer benefits like overtime, like healthcare, et cetera down the line to their drivers. And when you look at the numbers of Uber and Lyft, I mean, they're already not profitable, right? Obviously 2020 is a strange year, but Uber has never been profitable in their entire existence. So you add in now that they're exponentially going to have to pay their now employees, not contractors, so much more. It's gonna be tough for them, especially with how big of a market California is. So for you taxi drivers out there, get your ass out to California right now. There's about to be a big need for you.
Yeah. Maybe.
Or a drop off.
Do what?
Said or a drop off.
Yeah.
That thing could blow up. I don't know.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know. That's gonna be interesting to watch.
Is there like a union, like a workers rideshare union? Or because I know some companies will like block union, stuff like that. Like it's just interesting to me how like something like that would get as much backing. But I guess if you have a like federal judge or something or state judge behind it, it could get some traction.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know too much about that. All I know is that Uber and Lyft are going to face some definite adversity over the coming months. There's actually I think there's a referendum that that I read about today that's going to be up at the election in November. It's going to give the Californian citizens the opportunity to kind of step up and voice their concerns over this legislation, or not legislation, but ruling in the court. So should be interesting to follow. We'll stay in touch with it and keep you guys updated. All right, guys. That was our intro. Let's get into the meat of today. The listeners sent in questions. The meat and potatoes. A buddy, Chandler Grantham, shout out Chandler. Sent in a question asking for the stock of the day. So I'm not going to give you the stock of the day because you're not giving me a nice little cut. But we did do a little bit of research before the podcast. We always come back to this. Tesla. How many episodes have we not talked about Tesla? Seriously?
We're the
Zero.
underground Tesla podcast. I mean, we got to talk
Literally,
about it.
dude. We need to get sponsored.
We should change our name to Bona Fide Tesla.
I'll take a Tesla.
Honestly, dude.
Not a Porsche.
Tesla, of course. Cameron?
Yeah, I'll take one. Whoever's gonna sponsor us.
And yeah, Cameron's got a he needs he needs at least 3 cars an episode, and you guys need to rate, subscribe, and leave a nice comment below so that we can get there.
Yep. We'll get there soon.
Yeah. Anyway, stock of the day was Tesla. Tesla, their stock price jumped like literally $140 in one day. Went from about $1,680 a share, closed out the day at $1,840. Also over the last few months, where it
That is
goes.
insane.
It is. It really is. If you had $400 back in March, you could have bought one Tesla stock, and today doing pretty well.
Well,
Put it
hey,
that
while
way.
we're on the note of like the stock of the day, I just had a question pop into mind. So what are some just overall industries that you guys think are good to invest in general? Because of how turbulent this past year has been. Like a lot of stuff has changed. Like what are we starting to see kind of make an explosion?
So
What industry?
to
Tech.
answer that,
Okay.
is that short term focus, I'm assuming? Like just how you're
Everything
going to
is
see the
short-term.
biggest gains
I just as of
if you're a bad investor.
just industries that are blown up. Yeah, maybe into the long term. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell where the future's going. Things that are
Food
things that have,
delivery.
yeah, pretty much all things that don't require human contact. I've been thinking about that a lot. Just different. Yeah, food delivery is one. Obviously tech. We've kind of already touched on that a little bit. One thing.
Telecommunication for business.
So this
Zoom.
this might be a hot topic, but firearm manufacturers have been like just running out of stock like crazy. I know all around
Wow.
the gun store that I go to a lot. Like I went in there last weekend and they were basically out on like all their stock because people are just coming in buying up as many firearms as they can get. They're starting to have to put limits on what people can buy.
I think
Wow.
part of that too deals with it being an election year as well.
Right.
I think
That's true.
no matter what, whenever you have an election year, because I remember back in 2016 was when my dad bought a ton of guns, because there's always the threat of people running on different ballots that, hey, I'm gonna outlaw guns or stuff like that. So there might be some, I don't know if hysteria is the right word, but just like an urge to go ahead and arm up in case that does come down the pipe.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think of that with it being an election year, but especially in today's trying times, I feel like it's even more compounded with people wanting to buy firearms.
Right. Real quick, going on top of that, speaking of, stock of the day, one thing that I want to mention. So, guns in times of uncertainty obviously are in higher demand. Obviously, we're in an election year, and that kind of has led to that. You've got one party that runs usually anti-guns, a lot of violence issues over the last year that, has led to that discussion. But also in times of uncertainty, gold and silver. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but gold has been selling at something higher than it's ever sold. I'm going to go look right now. The price per ounce is $1,982, and I believe that's the highest that it's ever been. So that's been, kind of going on over the last few months. Gold's just been trending higher than ever. The gold and guns right now. Apparently.
Gold guns.
Gold, guns, and glory.
But that's
What
all
if
you
you have a
need.
gold Desert Eagle?
Ooh,
Dude, I want one of those.
question.
I'm in the market for a handgun. Let me just combine my invest in some gold by getting a firearm too. Kill two birds
Yep.
with one stone.
There you go.
All right, Blake, take over this next question.
All right. All right. So the question here is from our good friend Bretton Williams. Is VR the future of gaming? Will the controller become a dinosaur, and is AI bad? Wow, that is a very
Lots to unpack.
yeah. That's that question so it's a very broad question. So first, let's talk about, is VR the future of gaming? Um, I think definitely yes. There's a huge appeal to virtual reality. Obviously, it's so much more immersive than just looking at a screen and playing that way. So I think the main bottleneck now is VR's just got to become it's got to become better in terms of functionality. You know, when VR first came out, it was just this big clunky thing. The magnification with the little eyepiece that you look through wasn't really the greatest, nor was the actual image quality. And plus, you had to have it hooked up to a PC or some sort of external source. But now, as we're in the past couple of years with Oculus and the newest HTC Vive, they're starting to become more compact with a more all-in-one setup. And one thing that I know I've talked to Brian and Cameron about, something that I think of a lot lately is, so gaming as a whole is starting to move towards cloud-based systems. Google Stadia launched a few months ago. I know Microsoft is in development with their own cloud software. So what I think is really going to be the big push for virtual reality is, well, all right. So before I say this, for those of you who don't know how cloud-based gaming works, is essentially all you need. So let's take Google Stadia for example. All you need is an internet connection, and Google Stadia is like it's a virtual computer that processes all the games for you over the internet. So all you like right now, people who play on uh, really the highest end games that you can play right now require a computer with a ton of processing power, a ton of real expensive hardware to process all the pixels and the frame rates that those games require. But what Google Stadia is it does all that processing over the internet. So all you need is an internet connection. And so I've been thinking with virtual reality systems becoming more compact. Really, all you would need is just a VR headset that hooks up to the internet, and you don't need. It's just a standalone system. You don't need to hook it up to a computer or an Xbox or a PlayStation. It's just all there in one. So once, if that's a big if cloud-based gaming does take off, I think that's going to be a big boost for virtual reality. Um, but to kind of go back to the question, I definitely think so. Yeah, that VR um, is the future. What do y'all think?
But
Yeah, absolutely.
what about controllers?
Control. So your typical. I don't know where my controllers
You'll
are
have
right now.
you'll have one for both hands, and like they have that now for
Yeah,
VR. You'll still have controllers, and maybe they'll just turn into gloves eventually. That'd be pretty cool.
they could turn into gloves,
Uh,
or what if motion tracking becomes so good that it can detect the movements of your fingers, so it projects. So, for example, what if the your VR headset, so it detects the space around you, and whatever heads-up display it's that you're seeing, you can actually interact with that in space. So it detects your hand movements, and you don't even need a controller to press a button or pull a trigger or something like that. Like, what if it's all just hand tracking and body tracking? I
Interesting.
could see that.
I think something that's pressure sensitive will be pretty important. Something that
That
you can
is
like
true.
grab
That's true.
onto. Because right now I know the newest like controllers for VR, you can do like individual finger pressure sensations
Hmm.
like for the controller. So that's I think pretty important. It's like how hard you're pushing. I don't know. I mean, I guess you can track that with visuals. Like you can track my fingers right now visually, but I don't know.
Yeah, that is a good point because you would want some tactile feedback. And
Right.
if you ever if you type on an iPad versus a regular keyboard, it feels better to type on a keyboard because you don't get that tactile feedback of pressing a button. So yeah,
Right.
maybe gloves are the way to go. Some sort of haptic feedback system in the gloves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's always going to be some form of analog to it. Like, so for example, I don't know if this is a direct parallel, but for cars, like there's always going to be some kind of need for a manual transmission, like that analog feel, like you're in tune with the car, like human machine interaction. So I feel like gaming, it's not going to completely, go away, but it might just change the experience with your senses in a way, but there's still going to be some analog feeling associated with it, whether that's, I don't know, holding something and pressing your thumbs on it. I don't know what it would be, but
I have
I don't
a
know.
I have a pretty far out thought. All right, so 20 years in the future, Elon Musk's Neuralink has taken over society. We all have wires sticking out of our heads. We have fully embraced the Matrix, voice crack and all. um, so what if with the Neuralink, you don't even need VR anymore? You can just sit back, close your eyes, and immerse yourself in that world. And that Neuralink sends impulses to the nerves in your fingers, and you're feeling everything that way. You're immersed in the game
Yo,
completely.
yes. Have you guys seen
Then
the
it
movie
malfunctions
Surrogate?
and shocks you to death.
Wait, what'd you say, Brian?
It's a
And then it
malfunction shock.
malfunctions and you die
Bzz.
because you're an idiot and you put a computer in your brain.
You're
Oh
an
my
idiot.
god. No, there's this movie Surrogate, where you like just you don't leave your house pretty much. And that seems like what it's like right now with COVID. Nobody's want to leave their house. You don't leave your house, you lay down and you put this little thing on and you control with your mind a different body that goes out and does everything. And you
Why?
feel like it sends the sensations to your brain that the other like little robot body is experiencing, so you still
Oh.
feel like you're there and everything, but it's just not you.
How's that efficient? It can't shit and piss for you.
You don't need
Well,
shit. You're
I
in the
know.
Matrix.
Yeah, what are
You're-
they called? Catheter.
Yeah, just hook up to a catheter and a poop tube.
Sounds
Pop
like
it
Right
hell.
in there.
So on that note, this is kind of leading us into the AI discussion. Is AI bad? Is merging with technology in that sense? Because is that a bad thing? I mean, it seems like some sort of general artificial intelligence is it's just a matter of time when that's going to happen. They're making progress every day on coming up with something that can think for itself, some computer program that may or may not be sentient. So, should we join forces with it? Should we, become symbiotic with AI, or, is it better to let it be a standalone thing? And
So,
Like
another life
I've seen too many scary movies to know that AI is bad.
form.
Yeah.
I like working in technology. I understand the need for it in process improvement and automation and shit, but I don't believe like the biotech, like merging the two. I believe in utilizing technology to make your life more efficient, clear up time so you can go do the things you want to do while still being productive. So, like, I know what the benefits and advantages are for technology, but I think there comes a time to where why would you want to fully automate away a person's job? And then, two, there comes with things that can't be fully automated that require a human to make a decision versus a machine just throwing shit up because it made a calculation 5,000 times and thinks that's the best way to do it versus gut feelings and intuition.
Well, that's where that's what so by artificial general I'm fucking my words up. Artificial general intelligence. What I mean by that is it's like it is a sentient being. Like you and I and Cameron, actually probably not Cameron. All of us in here can think for ourselves, and make creative decisions. And so that's the theory behind what AI is going to reach. The I forget the term for it, but so the question is when AI does reach that point, when we have created a sentient being that is a million times more intelligent than we are, um, is that something to be scared of? Something that can make decisions for itself and improve upon its own design?
What is the use case for it? Like, why do we need that?
It's not necessarily down to a use case. It's just something that I mean, that seems to be where innovation's leading. Well, I mean, part of the use
Well,
case is it can, you know, make better decisions for us, speed up productivity, and that's what all these AI companies are working on, like DeepMind and whatever Facebook has. They're all working on something that can become sentient and think for itself. So it's not really. I don't think it's a matter of a use case for it. It's because that question seems to have been abandoned a long time ago. It's, what are we going to do when we've developed something that can think for itself? It's its own life form, essentially.
it's hard to control, like iRobot, how all the robots
Yeah.
had those like 3 or 4 or 5 rules that they couldn't break. It
Yeah.
had to do with like what if the person that's creating the AI doesn't program those rules? Like, he programmed, whoever that guy was, obviously had a monopoly on the industry and programmed all the robots to have that rule. But if people are just creating their own AI and they just decide to create something that doesn't have those program rules to like make sure humans are safe and like you don't hurt humans and like human life is important, like the utmost importance, then it's going to learn about obsolescence. That's for sure. And we're going to seem pretty obsolete to whatever that it is, you know?
So yeah, that's
So
the argument with merging with AI, is instead of it being a separate thing that makes its own decisions and acts in its own best interest. The argument is that we should become a part of it, so that you know we are merged with AI, and it sees itself as a part
cyborgs.
of us.
So like the Matrix.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the argument.
Interesting. But isn't wouldn't I don't want to get all religious and everything, but like wouldn't God be considered that thing we tap into? That intelligence? Where do we get our intelligence from? What
Yeah.
do we all tap into,
Yeah. What is
right now?
consciousness?
Exactly. Getting pretty deep.
Yeah, that's an important question.
Interesting things that we are probably too stupid to know anything about.
Yeah, it's fun to
So
speculate.
speaking of feeling really stupid, Velasquez, you want to read off this next one? Because I can't even get past the second phrase without being confused as fuck.
Yeah. Okay. So, guys, I really want you to put on your listening cap here. Pryor, shout out. Have a really, really good question, and Cameron, I think you're probably gonna be best tuned to answer this one, because it's pretty conspiratorial in nature. Yeah. So, listen here. Why we have fingertips, cannot finger toe, but we can tiptoe. Don't have toe tips.
Wait.
I literally had to read that like 6 different times for that to make sense to me.
Okay, one more time. Listen up. Why do we have fingertips, cannot finger toe? We can tiptoe, but don't have toe tips. Okay.
Wait, we can't.
Do you think the AI can
Fingertip?
figure that out?
I think the second part you meant he meant fingertip.
No.
Wait.
All right, so we have fingertips, the tips of our finger,
Yeah,
but we can't finger toe. That doesn't make sense. But we can tiptoe, walk on the tips of your toes, but we don't have toe tips. We don't refer to the ends of our toes as the tips of our toes.
Okay. Fair enough.
So why don't we have toe tips?
Maybe because we
I think
don't
it's a fair question.
touch things with our toes that much. Touch things with our fingertips.
Why not?
Do we
It's a
have any
conspiracy. Why don't
biology
we?
majors in the audience?
English doesn't make any sense.
Not in our audience.
We have a couple that probably don't listen to this.
Probably not.
Listeners, please let us know. We've been racking our brains all day on this question and not for the life of us figure it out.
I'm gonna tiptoe out of here and grab another beer. I'll be right back.
Maybe we should play into some artificial intelligence, play into that conversation and build bots that have toe tips. Maybe that's what we're lacking as a race is we don't have toe tips.
Probably.
Or we just give them that command so they get confused as fuck and self-implode,
And
and we
that's
don't
how
have
they
to deal with
implode.
the AI problem.
There you go. Now we don't have Manzer to listen in on this next question. I think it's pretty interesting.
Visit it.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah, we'll just. I want to keep going with this one. This one, y'all's brain, then we'll fill in Blake. So, I don't even think I wrote down who sent this question, but PlayStation versus Xbox. Now, in the state of gaming today, you have to also include versus building a PC. That's really the trifecta right now of gaming. You've got PlayStation, Xbox, and the PC, right? Where do you guys lie? I think all four of us here all use Xbox, so we're probably going to be pretty biased on this. But we might need to rephrase the question into what the future of gaming is. Just from my experience, and I'm not very I don't have an expertise on this, but my experience, with the new consoles coming out this Christmas, PlayStation and Xbox consoles, what I understand, it seems like they're going to be almost like very similar to like a PC modem. Like with their like infrastructure, how they're built, their ramifications, what they're going to be able to do. What are y'all's thoughts on this? Like, if you were to buy a console to last you for the next 5 to 10 years, you going to buy an Xbox?
Who knows? Yeah,
What
I
I
mean,
think-
I'm making this decision at the end of the year, literally. I mean, I'm gonna take probably. I don't. How much is the new Xbox gonna be? Like 600? I'm gonna take.
I think 6.
Yeah.
Is it?
So between that, or I'm either gonna do that, or build a PC for about 1,000. But really, I mean, because I'm almost to the extent of like my console gaming. Like, I don't know what else I would want besides it just to run faster. I think that links to our VR discussion we were having. Is I think VR, Xbox, and PlayStation already came out with some VR. They need to come out with something better. Xbox needs to come out with something VR, and hopefully that this next console will be strong enough to power whatever that VR headset that maybe it can link with. I think that's pretty important for whatever comes next as far as Xbox. Because if not, I mean, people are just going to start going with PCs and getting like the Oculus or some other kind of VR headset to get those good VR games and stuff.
My question is, Blake, since you have a PC, what makes more sense, and like how exponential does computing change? Like, should I go and spend $600 on an Xbox that might come obsolete in 4 or 5 years, or is it better now to sack up, maybe put $1,000 into a computer that has the potential and foundation to last maybe a decade or something? Or do you get what I'm saying? Like, if I go and build out a decent PC right now, what are the odds in 5-10 years that I'm gonna have to dish out another $1,000 to get the newest and greatest just to be able to play on the same level as my friends?
So with building, yeah, there's definitely a bigger or a higher upfront cost to building a computer or just getting your own gaming computer. But hardware technology changes so rapidly. So it does, within about 4 to 5 years, your computer, I mean, it really just depends on how well you want to be able to run a game. But within about 4 or 5 years, that computer is gonna be outdated. But the thing there is, so say it takes like $1,000 to upgrade your computer, or sorry, not to upgrade it, but to build your computer. Say you build a modest gaming computer for about $1,000. When it comes time to upgrade in 4 or 5 years, that's only going to be like probably around $300 to replace a few components that have become outdated. Whereas with the Xbox, you know, what was the last Xbox or the last generation of Xbox consoles came out in 2013 with, I don't know if I would consider the One X a whole new generation of consoles, but it's been about 7 years since Xbox came out with their whole new generation, and the Xbox One console compared to today is so outdated. Like the Xbox One could
That's
only
what I
run
have.
like 1080p games, whereas now 4K still isn't. Nothing can really run 4K that much or that well unless you're willing to spend like $2,500 on something. But uh, upgrading your PC is a lot cheaper, more incrementally, and a lot easier to do than having to shell out a whole new $500 or $600 to build something or to buy something that's going to become outdated within a couple of years.
Yeah,
I don't know if
Cameron,
that
I
answered
think
your
you bring
question.
up you did. That absolutely did. Cameron, I think you bring up an interesting point. I think 2020 is going to be kind of a pivotal year as far as what the future of gaming is going to be, because in 2020 you have three huge choices that we'll be able to see the numbers, see where the sales are, see what people are deciding to do between PlayStation, Xbox, and the PC. I just from my experience, it's like it seems as if kind of gamer are you? Are you an advanced expert gamer? Want a career in gamer? Then I have to have a PC, right? Because of the speed
Yeah.
differences, like you talked about, Blake, how far behind PlayStation and Xbox are because their last gen came out so long ago, whereas PC is continuously updating its ramifications and etc. But I'm a casual gamer. I don't really care. I don't see my future in gaming, right? So I like the casual experience of plugging in the
Yeah.
DVD disc and hopping on my controller and just talking shit to some noobs with my boys. Like that's just kind of what I'm looking for, right? But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch.
So what I foresee before we move on from this topic, and I'm sure it might exist already, but I think a smart move on, I don't know, Alienware is like a pretty popular PC gaming company, right? So I think what we'll probably see in the next year or two is PC companies are going to understand this and see the shift in the market. And we'll probably start seeing, and like I said, it might already exist, but a couple like packages of gaming computers where they just kind of assemble all the components and whatnot. And it might be like a weekend warrior computer where it's like a little lower price, maybe like $600-700 versus a above average competitive pub player that might be a grand, like, and just start tiering it to cater to the different segments of the market, and essentially could run Xbox obsolete if Xbox and PlayStation don't make their console something that can be continuously updated with hardware as the technology improves.
Well, that actually already does exist within the. I mean, Fortnite, it was honestly a big contributor in this, in blowing up the whole PC market, PC gaming. Ninja became super famous. He obviously played on PC. A lot of like the real the real top level streamers that everyone is familiar with are playing on PCs because of that performance advantage you get. So there are some companies like NZXT has their BLD service where they you get to spec out your computer. They'll build it for you and ship it to you for around MSRP. If you didn't have the experience to build it yourself. Um, Another thing about Microsoft is I think they've already recognized that the massive increase in or the potential that the PC world has in dominating the whole gaming space. And so I know they've been working on their Xbox app for Windows 10. When Windows 10 launched, that was kind of a big thing, was meshing Xbox Live with PC gaming, and that's with Xbox Game Pass kind of being the new thing, getting away from Xbox Live being an Xbox exclusive thing. I feel like they're starting to edge their way into the PC world, so that because they're both a hardware company and a software company, so they're developing the software to mesh with the PC world, so that they at least still have their Xbox Live system. That's how I talk to you guys whenever I play Call of Duty. Is I launch the Xbox Live app, play Call of Duty on my PC. So I think they're starting to edge into that world.
Interesting.
Yeah, real quick. So, do you think that like you mentioned with the packages and stuff for PCs, do you think that maybe Microsoft and Sony, their next move after this generation of console is to offer like an actual like PC setup? I could see Microsoft being more fit to do that, just given their quality in both software and hardware and their computer presence. But do you think that that could be something that we see in the near future? Or so for example, Microsoft and Sony have like a PC setup where you get the monitor, you get the console, you get like a plethora of games or whatever, and you have everything that you need right there with competitive applications compared to like what PC offers from like a speed and performance point of view. Make sense?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it would be, or if they necessarily want to get into the hardware space of gaming in that sense. I feel like they're more geared towards the whole marketing aspect. They I think they would benefit the most of having their platform be what people play on. You know, you can you can build your own computer and hop on the Xbox or the Sony platform. Because I think a lot of people enjoy me included. I like tinkering around with my computer, parting it out. It's kind of like adult Legos for a lot of people. Um, and so I just think it's too hard for a company like that to, especially with how rapidly technology is changing nowadays. I think it's too hard for them to come out with their own like hardware thing that they sell when the next
Mhm.
year or 2 years after that, it's going to be eons behind whatever they came out with a
Right.
couple years before.
So what we're going to see is a bunch of complex licensing deals and sell arrangements from Microsoft and the big wigs that don't necessarily want to pump a bunch of money into owning hardware that's going to become obsolete in 2 years.
Hmm.
And instead, they're going to be like, "Hey, we'll give you our, I don't know, production facility or some." There's going to be some form of exchange where they work out some complex ass deal.
I think it'll be a lot of partnerships with current
Yep.
computer part manufacturers, and
Hmm.
software is
They're going to
a
throw
big
their
thing
brand on there. Yep.
for sure. Yeah.
Interesting. So should the stock of the day then be Microsoft?
What about Sony?
I don't know. So Apple recently decided to make their own silicon. I don't know. So for those of you who don't know, Apple had previously been buying their silicon from Qualcomm and Intel, to make their own, to make the computer processors that go into the phone. And going back to the whole like closed wall system that Apple's continuously built up over the past couple of years, that's the next thing. So that all of the components that go into their phone are completely made in house. So from the software to the phone exterior to the chipset that goes inside your phone, it's all going to be made in house. So maybe we could see them start to edge their way into the market right now. I mean, Intel and AMD are the two big, um, and Nvidia on the graphics card side are the two big hardware manufacturers in the whole PC world. But if Apple starts making their own chips, then they might be a big player in a company that develops computer parts that people put
Interesting.
together.
Yeah, because a lot of mobile gaming is taking off, like Call of Duty Mobile.
Yeah.
Have y'all played that on your phone?
No, I
Mm-mm.
haven't.
It's not bad. I mean, I have a newer phone, so it's pretty good. But they've put a lot of money into the like mobile apps and mobile gaming, as far as just on
Oh,
phones and stuff. So maybe that's what Apple's going for. Who knows?
wow, that's interesting. We'll keep an eye on it. I think it's a very interesting discussion. I think we'll have more clarity on this, some more closure going into the Christmas season with this kind of boiling to a head. So we'll see about that. Guys, so it's almost September. Summer is coming to a close. It's still
Damn.
hot here in GA, but we are kind of wrapping up the summer here, going into the fall. So let's look back on the summer for a little bit. A question here from Griffin Brewster. He asks us, what is the best summer beer? What
So
beer do you crack open that just absolutely makes you think hitting the lake? Summer's here. winter is over, and here we are. What do y'all think?
I have the best answer, and it's going to directly contradict my earlier statement from the opening. Bud Light lemonade.
Wow.
Wow.
Lemonade?
Amazing. Not a seltzer.
Lemonade or lemon
It's a
lime?
beer. Lemonade. Bud Light lemonade.
Interesting.
Like throw a picture up on it because some people hear it and they're like, "What the hell is that?" It
Yeah,
is
I'm gonna
not
be
a
honest.
seltzer.
I don't even know what that is. What that looks
Yeah.
like.
Interesting.
So Bud Light had Bud Light Lime. So with all this
Yeah.
seltzer talk, they came out same shape of can, branded differently. So that Bud Light Lime, Bud Light Orange, which is kind of like your Blue Moon mixed with the Bud
Yep.
Light, and then Bud Light Lemonade. It's fucking amazing.
Wow. I don't think I've ever even heard of that.
Yeah.
You can buy it online right now. You can get a 12 pack online for $16 or a 25-ounce can for $3.
Ha.
You can't find it in stores either. It's really
What?
Yep.
Interesting.
That's
How
pretty.
have I never heard of this?
I need to try this.
Mm-hmm.
The
You'll be
the
lucky
beer,
to find a variety pack, but even more rare is the 12 pack.
So where did you find them?
I got like a variety pack with it came with 4 of each: lime, orange,
Okay.
and lemonade. I forgot when I got that, but I was like, oh my god, tastes amazing.
Okay, right on. I'll have to give it a try. Look out for
Pretty
it.
cool.
Answer, what hazy, pithy, IPA are you gonna select for your summer beer? What you got?
So I think this is gonna throw y'all through a loop. My go-to summer beer is a Coors Light.
what?
On a nice
So you
summer
like
day,
metal?
Lame.
a hot summer day, I love drinking a Coors Light.
The Blue Mountains.
It reminds me of kayaking down the Etowah. Just getting some from the gas station. The sun's beating down on you. It already tastes close enough to water, so it's got a little bit of
Ha.
kick to it in the form of alcohol. But yeah, I like a nice Coors Light on a hot summer
Interesting.
day.
Did not expect that from you. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
told you it'd throw
interesting.
you through a loop.
I didn't know Ryan
we-
Bowman was on the podcast.
Yeah, basically, dude. Good God. We need to have a domestic beer discussion at some point in the future, because I'll argue and say that Coors Light might be my least favorite mainstream
Bud
domestic
Light.
beer.
Really?
I'll second that. I'm
Same.
not a fan of Coors Light at all. I've never
I
been a
love
fan.
Coors
Tastes
Light.
like
dude.
metallic
Blake
piss.
knows that from college. Him and David would always want to get Coors Light, and I was just like, no, please, something else, please. Yeah, I've always, well, not always. I don't want to say always. In high school, I mean, not that I drank in high school, but I was always just Bud Light because I was just standard, whatever Bud Light. But then I did a blind taste test on myself in college, freshman year. I had 3 glasses, 3 different types of beer: Coors, Miller, a Bud Light. Did a blind taste test on myself. Got my brother to help me with it, so I knew could track it. But I like Miller the best. Bud Light was second, and Coors was shit.
Mine is completely opposite.
Wow.
And I
Dude, we should
I knew I didn't like Coors before that, and it was a blind taste test, and I just honestly didn't like it.
We do a blind taste test on this podcast in the future. That's a great idea.
Oh, that
That'd
is
be
a good
awesome.
idea. I think that'd be
Yeah.
fun.
Because
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever tried that, and that would be interesting for us. We've all drank a lot of domestic beer here. I'd be interested to see if we can nail the big 4, the big
I'd
3
be
or whatever.
for 3. Easy.
We could do a
Think?
couple blind taste tests. We could so we were talking earlier about doing a podcast all together, maybe at Blake's place. And I think maybe we should just do it then.
I think
We
that would
should,
be awesome.
That's a good idea.
Game, dude.
Just have a bunch of different beers and do some blind taste tests and do a live broadcast, live podcast, and that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I look forward to that. That's awesome. So I want to kind of mix it up a little bit here and say, okay, my summer beer is beer. And I know that sounds dumb. Hear me out. The summer months when it's warm
Did you say
outside,
beer?
yes.
Just in general.
When it's hot
The fuck?
and when summer comes around and like you're outside, you're at the lake, like you're going to Braves games, you're doing whatever it is, but you're doing it outdoors. That's when I crave beer. I crave beer more in the summer than I do in the cold months. So I'm just gonna say overall, my summer beer is beer. Like that's what I like. The only thing I want in the summer. Okay? Now, if I were to pick one beer, it really reminds me of the summer, and like my favorite to drink during the summer is definitely gonna be Michelob Ultra. It's basically like Manzer kind of said, it's just basically water. I mean, and those things. It's just easy drinking. I feel like a lot of times during the summer, longer days. It's sunnier, longer in the summer, obviously, and that kind of opens you up to drink more beer during the day. And I'm more of a quantity over quality kind of guy when it comes to beer. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna say Michelob Ultra, but just in general, like throughout the course of the year, like beer, I definitely crave most in the summer opposed to anything else.
Yeah.
All right.
Interesting.
Like I don't drink as much beer in the winter. I feel like I'm more inclined to maybe have like a gin and tonic or like something different, like whiskey.
You don't want just straight bourbon on the rocks during the middle of summer when it's 95 out and you're sitting by the pool. Freak.
A glass of red wine while you're doing yard work. Yeah.
I actually want to change my answer real
Room
quick.
temperature red wine.
Oh my god.
Oof.
I
You say,
just
Manzer?
gagged. I actually want to change mine because I just thought of I had a beer when my parents were helping me move in that just it was super hot moving all my furniture in from Charleston, and I took a sip of this and it was so refreshing. A nice Yingling. My dad bought a 12-pack of
Yes.
Yingling.
Thank you.
And I was like, wow, this is amazing. I need to get Yingling more often.
Yinglings are good.
I totally
love Yingling.
it totally escaped my
Love it.
mind when we were going over this, but it's so refreshing.
That
Yeah.
That's just
I'm
I just wanted
indifferent.
to add that.
So that's a great beer.
Fuck you, Brian.
dude, Yingling Light.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
like-
got it regular or light, but Yingling Light is like one of my favorite beers.
Yeah, just that. I think that's the key with summer beers. It's got to be something light, something refreshing. A little bit of a watery taste to it. But
Yeah.
I
enough
really
of a beer
prefer
talk.
a double nitro stout.
I would like
God.
a micro brew, nay, a nano brew.
Oh, what a chook.
Nay.
Speaking of puking, this is an awesome question coming in from Brigham. So, if you had to choose one meal to eat for the rest of your life, health does not matter. What would it be? Okay, so I would. The reason I say
Pizza.
puking, I would feel like over time, like you would not be favorite meal would not be your favorite meal anymore if you were forced to eat it every day, every time you eat, right? For sake of conversation, you guys could choose one meal. It doesn't matter what you got. Cameron, you say pizza?
Yeah.
fat
I got a
fuck.
question. What are well, so what are the parameters? Can we change maybe some of the ingredients? Because pizza's pretty
Versatile.
versatile, and you could put a whole bunch of stuff on it.
Okay.
So pizza would be a pretty good option. I don't know what the parameters are, but I don't know what else.
Okay. For this, here's some parameters. Okay.
Taste.
Two options. I want you to give me an answer for each. Okay. I want you to give me an answer for something that you can order at a restaurant, like a chain restaurant that everyone's familiar with. You choose one there, and you choose a home cooked meal.
I like that.
For me, like for example, for me, if I could choose one meal for the rest of my life, it would probably be a spicy chicken sandwich, a large fry from Chick-fil-A, and some Asian sauce. Would be like a fast food chain restaurant. Like I could eat that like forever.
Oh
And
man.
made something like it's you can cook in the house or whatever.
Here, let's do everyone do their fast food first. So mine would probably
Yeah.
be like a Chipotle bowl. We talked about Chipotle and Moe's before, but mine would be a Chipotle bowl with tortilla on the side so I can make my own burrito.
Yeah.
Does that come with a tampon?
Sometimes you got to just ask for it.
That's what the burrito's for, right? That's the tampon.
Yeah.
Or sorry,
I'm gonna
the
get
tortilla.
guac and queso.
Damn. All right.
Just go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a bowl to go, please, with brown rice, both beans, chicken, double veggies, corn, cheese, guac, and lettuce.
An extra large
That's
tampon.
you.
Extra large, please, on the side.
Give me the
I'm gonna
biggest
do-
tortilla
Okay.
you have.
Sound good. Okay. Respect.
Y'all won't guess this, but it's gonna be a scrambler bowl from Waffle House.
Ooh.
Wow.
Okay.
Good one, bro. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Ooh, damn, that was a good call. You know, dude, I feel like I could eat an all-star special for the rest of my life.
Dude, I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
We might all be in agreement there, but if I were to change, dude, that's good. It's
Yeah.
incredible. I haven't even
Waffle
ordered that
House.
yet. I need to give it a try soon.
It's fucking amazing.
There we go. Good one, Brian.
God,
Okay.
so we can hopefully this episode will get us sponsored by Waffle House. That'd make my dreams come
Oh
true.
my god.
Oh,
my life
I
is
got them on
complete.
my shirt right here. You can't really see it, but yeah.
I'll get
Right
a Waffle
on.
House hat this week. Try and make it happen.
Okay, right on. I saw a phone case. It actually popped up in my Instagram feed a while back. So it's like a see-through, like silicone phone case, and the back of it is the Waffle House menu.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
I clicked on it. I suckered into it. I clicked on it, and it was like $40 or $50. I was like, damn. Okay, if this were like 15, if this were 15, it's on my phone now. But
Yeah.
$3, a little steep. All right. So like home cooked meal. Man, we going for versatility or are we going for like this favorite? Man, I think
Just classic favorite.
we're
Yeah.
going for favorite. Oh man. Cooked. See, I would say like steak, like some like steak and potatoes type meal. But like if I eat steak, I'd rather someone else cook it for me. Does that make sense? Or like going to a restaurant and like ordering it. Cooking steak's kind of its own
This could
beast.
be like a
but
family recipe, though.
yeah, that's
Like, you
what
don't
I'm
have
thinking.
to necessarily cook it.
It's gonna be a family recipe. So my family, we're big casserole people. And there's like 4 or 5 casseroles that like I could literally just alternate for the rest of my life and actually be okay. A chicken casserole, green bean casserole, hash brown casserole, all staples. All staples. So I'm gonna say a casserole.
Nice.
All right.
Georgia.
Like, you want to go next? We'll circle back to Cameron.
Yeah. So yeah, my home cooked meal is a nice steak with a baked potato and roasted asparagus on the side. A
Interesting.
nice buttery baked potato.
So I'm
Oh.
sounds good, but I'm gonna have to stick on the breakfast train.
Ooh.
My uncle makes some fat ass pancakes,
Oh.
chocolate chips. You throw any of the shit you want in there. That's my answer.
Pancakes are so much fun to make too, especially like when you get kind of cocky and you start like actually flipping them on the pan and stuff. Cameron?
Oh yeah.
All right. So I got a couple answers. But my favorite thing that my mom ever made growing up were these things called chicken puffs. Take a croissant roll, and I'm not sure what she mixes all into it, but it's like cream cheese. I think there's got to be like some ranch or something, and then chicken on the inside of this croissant, and it's called a
Ooh.
chicken puff.
Ooh.
So good. I don't know if I could eat that for the rest of my life, though. I would probably go. It's really, really good, but every once in a while. But steak and potato,
Turn into a
something
chicken
like
puff.
exactly. But no, the steak and potatoes route is probably what I'm thinking. Maybe some kind of beef brisket instead.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean that's along the same lines of just some steak, some good beef, and then some kind of potato, and then maybe some greens on the side. Maybe not asparagus, but something better than that. Like even just a salad would be better than asparagus.
Not a big asparagus guy.
Makes your piss
No,
smell
like
weird.
I mean, I'll eat
That's
it.
half the
but
fun of asparagus.
I'm never just like, oh yeah, this asparagus is so good.
Dude, I love asparagus.
But salad can be good with some good dressing. So
So Brigham has rephrased his question to death row last meal versus everyday
Oh,
meal for the rest of your life.
like that. So, okay,
Huh.
that's good perspective. Anyone off the top of their heads? Would anyone change?
Pancakes.
I might go with just that chicken puffs with also my mom used to always make mashed potato. It would be something my mom cooked, of course. I mean, it couldn't be anything else. So those chicken puffs with some mashed potatoes and
You're
probably
a fucking chicken puff.
Got that right.
and
Who
some
else
sweet
is
tea.
that?
She used to always make some sweet tea at home. So chicken puffs, mashed potatoes, and sweet tea. My death row meal. Oh my
Wow.
god, I gotta show her this.
Uh,
Maybe I'm just hungry and craving Waffle House now, but dude, I might go with an all-star special for
That
my
is-
death row meal.
that is a good choice.
That sounds so good right now, honestly.
Yeah, I just might, dude. Like, the thing about all-star specials is it hits every aisle at Waffle House, right? Like, you decide if you want eggs or bacon or hash browns. Fuck it, get all of them, and a waffle. And get
Yeah.
and if you throw in my own personal wheelbarrow to wheel me out after I eat a whole all-star special, but yeah, that's my death
Dude,
row meal. I'm gonna choose it.
Have you guys had the hash browns topped with chili? Have y'all tried that at Waffle House?
Oh.
No,
Mm.
chili
Dude,
on the hash
Dude,
browns.
it's
That can't be healthy for
so
you.
good.
Yo, steak and
Wow.
shake chili
Topped
is
with
where
chili.
it's at, though.
Mm.
Wow.
Man, my mouth is. I'm salivating right now thinking of.
Dude, hell yeah. Wow. So, dude, chili. See, I don't ever order chili at restaurants. I only eat it like home. No, am I crazy for that?
No,
I mean,
Waffle House is the
usually-
only
No,
restaurant to get chili.
I'm the same way.
I only get it at Steak and Shake. That's interesting. I don't know. I learned
Ooh.
it from my parents.
You also, I mean, the thing about chili is like, you're dedicating some future time to a commode. A decent amount of future time to a commode by investing in some chili into your belly. I don't know, man. That's just always a tough choice. I always, Anyway, I'll stop that conversation before I even get started. Ryan, have yours?
Yeah,
Death
I'm
row?
not changing. It'd be some kind of. It would honestly be the meal I had Sunday morning. Just some breakfast, some nice ass pancakes with like an omelet or something like that.
I love it.
Ooh,
Love it.
nice.
We got 2 breakfast meals in here.
Hmm.
For the death row meal. I gotta
Love
respect
breakfast.
Dessert?
right, so
Do we get
burrito
dessert
expert.
on death row?
Ooh, okay, yes, let's do that.
Wait, what'd you say,
Um,
Cameron?
I said, do we
Oreo
get
milkshake.
dessert on death row?
Oh man. Okay.
I got a Oreo Blizzard from DQ. Toss it in there.
Oh, I was thinking Blizzard too, but I'm more of a chocolate chip cookie dough.
Hmm.
That's mine.
Ooh,
I'm doing
respect.
a Oreo milkshake from Applebee's.
What?
Wow.
Applebee's.
What?
What the hell?
Fucking sleep on it. Go and get it after
No
this shit. Dude.
Way.
They're amazing.
Applebee's.
Are you kidding me?
Fucking Applebee's, dude.
They
Yeah,
have milkshakes at Applebee's?
yeah, they're amazing.
Jesus.
Wow.
Back when I was a kid, if I got A's on my report card, my mom would take me there and I'd get it.
Applebee's.
The Applebee's used to be the spot.
Hell
So
yeah.
so that's
Okay.
what propelled you to where you are today, Brian. That Applebee's milkshake to motivate you to get
Oreo
A's on your
milkshake.
report card.
It got you where you are right now.
Well, let's remember, it doesn't make a fuck.
It doesn't
make-
make a-
No, Applebee's milkshakes do make a fuck.
Not your degree.
Brian's
That
life, at
Applebee's
least.
That's our
milkshake.
first shirt design. Applebee's milkshakes make a fuck.
I'll design that shit right now.
And it's just gonna be Brian's
So-
face right in the middle, drinking a milkshake.
I don't even think that the Oreo milkshake is the best dessert item at Applebee's, bro. So I used to go there a lot as a kid too, and I'm gonna argue and say that their cookie skillet is the alpha dessert at Applebee's. Say
What-
straight up
Would you say cookie what?
cookie skillet, just a big
Oh,
ass
okay.
cookie skillet with
Oh,
ice
that
cream
sounds
on
good.
the top and some dude, bro. Used to get that all the time as a kid. That's the supreme dessert item from Applebee's.
There we
Fucked.
go.
I don't agree. It don't make a fuck.
All right, Blake, what you got?
I'm going with a nice big eclair, a flaky, eclair, man. I fucking
Okay.
love eclairs. Just
You
a
damn
melt in
fairy.
your mouth,
You French
biting
fairy.
into an eclair. Dude, that's what I'm going with on death row.
An eclair.
An eclair.
Just,
Do you want
just love
a,
biting
do you
into
want a
it and all the
French-
cream shooting out the side, don't you? That's what you love.
Yes,
You want a
exactly.
French woman with hairy armpits served up with it?
Hey, if that's coming with it, I'm not gonna complain.
Fair enough, fair
Comes
enough,
with it.
yep. All right. Well, all right, so we'll wrap this up with one last question, also food related. Hopefully, Blake, you're not salivating too much to where you can answer this question. I don't even know what this means, but we're just gonna go with it. Chris Sharp asks, should the stuff in burritos be mixed before you make the burrito? I don't even know what that means.
All right,
Sounds
so
like
my
you, like if you go to Chipotle or you don't like Chipotle, Moe's or whatever, wherever you get a burrito, they start off with like the rice, then they put the beans, then they put the meat, then the lettuce, the
Yeah.
cheese, and what they like layer it on top.
Yeah.
Mix
If
all
it-
the fucking shit up.
Yeah, if it
after
were
it's
mixed
pan
together,
ass.
it's all nice and homogeneous before you put it in the tortilla. I agree with that. I think
Oh,
it
you
should
put
all
it-
be
you're
evenly mixed.
Absolutely.
You're saying put it all in like a big ass vat,
Hmm
stir the rice, the sour cream, and
Mix it on
everything.
up.
You just
Oh,
mix
yeah.
it together.
Yeah.
You roll it up
No,
into a burrito,
listen.
and then you the tampon. Is that what you're talking about here?
Yes. Exactly.
No, listen, this is what I do. So, like I said, I go to Chipotle, get a burrito bowl to go, the tortilla on the side. You take about half of that bowl, because you get extra rice and extra beans. Take about half of the bowl and put it in the tortilla and wrap your own burrito. And it's all mixed in. When you scoop it out of the bowl, it all mixes in together, and boom. And then you got a second meal, or if you're feeling real fat, then you can just eat all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean,
If you don't like
whenever I go to
tortillas.
Chipotle, that's what I do anyway. Is I get the bowl to go, and I put the lid on and just shake it all up as much as I can, so it's all evenly mixed. Because I hate it when I'm eating a bowl from Chipotle and like the first 10 scoops are all rice, and then like there's like an uneven amount of guacamole and chicken on the other side. I want it to all be evenly mixed so that I get an even experience throughout.
So here's a fundamental question, also to go along with this. So, when you make a peanut butter and jelly, how do you make it?
Peanut butter first,
Okay.
and then jelly, and
Okay.
then you just smack them together.
Just
What do
put
you
it on
mean?
the fucking bread and do that.
Exactly.
Okay, so what I'm getting at here is, would you also take your peanut butter and jelly and mix it up beforehand before you put it on the?
Well, they make
Y'all ever
that.
seen that before?
They make that it's like Smuckers or whatever. They have like peanut butter and jelly mix
Nah,
in a
that's
thing.
stupid.
No, dude, I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's
That
dumb.
seems to make sense to me. You get
Actually,
it all
you know those-
because
When you put them
then you-
together, it's already you're getting equal bites.
well, no, because then if you take your butter knife,
Exactly.
you don't soil it with if you scoop peanut butter out and put it on the bread, then you might soil your jelly jar. You gotta either wash off the
Okay.
knife or get a whole new
Exactly.
knife, and
I just
you know
soil it. Ew.
you're gonna
Who fuck
soil
Wait,
it.
cares?
jar of jelly? Who's getting jars
Nobody's
of
gonna
jelly?
be eating my
isn't
jelly
the-
anyways. besides
Sometimes
This
you
me.
isn't
get jar-
the 1800s. What you just get a squeeze bottle and you squeeze that shit.
Oh,
Okay, well
that's
that
mean.
solved that issue. You
This
get a
is it.
squeeze bottle of jelly, and sure, yeah, it solves the issue. But like, if you want to go Whole Foods
That's why
organic,
you-
get some jarred jelly, slap it on there, and sorry, I'm getting heated.
PB&Js are supposed to get people heated.
I get the
reason I
argument
bring
though.
There's a
Jared.
fly in my computer.
reason I bring this up is when I was a kid, my grandma would sometimes, like when she would make some PB&Js, she would jelly and the peanut butter into a bowl and then mix it up and then spread it on the PB&Js.
No way.
Your grandma is a
Jesus, like,
smart
yeah.
woman. And I always hated it.
I hated it, dude. It doesn't
You're
taste the
lying.
same. I
That's
swear.
weird.
Disgusting.
It doesn't taste the same. And I say all this to ask you, would a burrito with all the ingredients mixed up
Yes.
taste the same?
Yes.
Yes.
That's different, dude. When you take
Okay.
a bite out of a sandwich, out of a PB&J sandwich, you can get a whole bite with peanut butter and jelly in it. But when you take a bite out of a burrito and you just get all rice, and then you take a bite out of the other side and you just get all beans and lettuce and cheese, and you're just like, cheese. I want all of it together. I want all of it in one bite.
Yeah, that's a
I'll
good
tell you
analogy.
what. This would definitely make Chipotle and Moe's lines more efficient if you didn't have the opportunity to choose what ingredients you want. They just had a big ass vat, and you had, hey, I want a burrito. Then they just scoop up the vat of all the mixed ingredients and plop it onto the burrito and wrap it up.
That'd be fucking
good.
gross.
I mean,
So anyway,
nice.
maybe BFT will start its own burrito serving company, and
Yeah.
it'll be our
Nope.
We'll
Yeah.
be more efficient. We can offer the burritos at
You're not
lower
getting my
prices.
money.
$5 burritos. There we go.
Okay, right on. $5 burritos and $12 hazy double IPA, dank, the dope ass brews. Or really make our
Yikes.
No, it's soft, juicy, hazy, drinkable, bitterless, fruity, mango, delicious, pillowy, luscious,
I'm an idiot.
hoppy.
yeah. I think
won't
my
read 'em
dream.
all.
I think my dream job. I used to work at my college job. I worked at a liquor store, and that was very interesting. But I would when I was bored, I would go around and read the back of the labels, like the descriptions of the wine bottles, right? And I came away from that thinking that's my dream job, right? Like, who the hell knows drinks a glass of wine and goes has a hint of cherry, also a mahogany roasted. It's just like seriously, like yeah, it tastes like the German countryside wrapped up into a bottle. I'm like, these guys are just professional bullshitters. So that's my dream gig. I want to be a mercenary that just writes bullshit that you paste onto the back of a wine bottle or a beer can, whichever. I'll do both, and I'll just come up with a nice, pleasing concoction of bullshit words to describe it. I think.
Professional description writer. Some of the titles on some of these shows I'm watching are pretty interesting. Like on Amazon and Netflix and at HBO. The descriptions on some of these movies and shows are hilarious.
Dude, maybe there's a big market out there and an untapped market for it. I don't know.
Description writing.
Professional.
Professional.
All right, guys.
bullshit
Well,
writer.
are your hearts and minds clear?
What are you doing? Yeah.
Oh my God, Brian! Damn it, Brian!
Bro. Hey, before Manager has a laugh attack here, this is Bona Fide Talk. This was our listener-inspired episode. We hope you enjoyed it, guys. Thank you so much for sending in all of the questions. We thought it was a good discussion, and we really appreciate it. This is Garrett Lusk. We got Cameron Campbell and his Hazy Double Dank IPA. We've got Blake Manzer, the official Coors Light drinker. We've got Brian Edwards, Mr. Pancake himself. Hearts and mind is clear. Are you guys good?
Hell yeah.
I'm smiling
See
and
ya.
satisfied.